Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Justin again. Uh, Going back to the movies. This time, rocking my unpaid movie critic T-shirt. Shout out to my wife's aunt for the love it. And that's what I am. I'm an unpaid movie critic. That's not really a critic. I just appreciate movies for what they are. So the first movie that I reviewed was The Golden Child. Now we're going to go on to the opposite spectrum, and one of the best movies of the last 20 years. Won multiple Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Supporting Actress for Lupita Nyong'o. We're going 12 Years a Slave. Anybody who knows me knows that I graduated from college with a degree in history. I am a historian. I love history. And this is such a powerful story about Solomon Northup, who spent 12 years as a slave, even though he was a free man. It's such a powerful movie, such an amazing cast with an amazing director, Steve McQueen, who, justifiably so, should have won the Oscar that year for Best Picture. It went to Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity, which is a good movie. By no stretch of the imagination do I think it was a better movie than 12 Years a Slave. But that's, not near here or there. It's, I appreciate Gravity for what it is. Beautifully shot movie itself, but 12 Years a Slave, such a powerful movie, such an amazing cast. As I said, Lupita Nyong'o winning for Best Supporting Actress. You had Chiwetel Ejiofor playing Solomon Northup. You had Brad Pitt. You had Paul Dano. You had Paul Giamatti. You had Sarah Paulson. You had Michael Fassbender, who, such an underrated actor in his own right, who's been in so many amazing movies. Obviously, he's probably most recognizable as Magneto in the more recent X-Men movies. But such a great list of movies under his belt. 12 Years a Slave, obviously another Steve McQueen movie, Shame, which doesn't get a lot of recognition that it deserves, but his performances are fantastic. He's such an amazing actor. It's such an amazing cast. One of the better casts of a movie that's been assembled, to my recollection, in the last 20 years or so. It's such a powerful story. What I appreciate the most about 12 Years a Slave is it doesn't hold back. He was a slave, even though he was born a free man. He's treated like a slave no matter what he does. Especially by Fassbender's character, who's just so evil. But that's what makes it so good. But they don't hide the fact that slaves were not treated well. He was beaten. He developed relationships with other slaves, which had to have been hard for Solomon Northup to begin with because he was a free man. And, having been a free man who was successful as a musician, part of him always had to, I think, look down upon these people because he wasn't a slave. He didn't live that life, although he did end up living that life for a number of years before gaining his freedom. Brad Pitt, fantastic. Paul Dano, really underrated actor in his own right. Movies like There Will Be Blood really stand out as, one of his best performances, along with 12 Years a Slave. But it's Fassbender, Nyong'o, and Ejiofor that really stand out as what makes this movie so incredible to watch. It's hard to watch at times because of how evil Fassbender's character is and how he treats his slaves. But that's what reality is. And that's what's so important when you're watching a movie like this is, if I'm going to watch a movie as a historian, I didn't go through this. Obviously, this was 150 years ago, but to try to put you into that setting and to see the evil inside of people and how you can see the hope slowly draining out of somebody is what makes it such a special movie. You know, the performances are incredible. Very tough year to win significant awards, although, you know, arguments can be made. But, you know, that year, you know, El Tafur didn't win Best Actor, but it's hard to argue with somebody like Matthew McConaughey winning for Dallas Buyers Club, which is an amazing movie in its own right. We'll review it at some time in the future. Jared Leto, also for Dallas Buyers Club, winning Best Supporting Actor, where Michael Fassbender, Brad Pitt, even though Brad Pitt's role is very small, it's integral to the movie. Both had cases to be made for Best Supporting Actor. But Fassbender was so incredible in the movie. It's such an amazing tale. And I do recommend to anybody that doesn't know a lot about Solomon Northup to find out what you can. You know, it's very difficult. You know, he didn't talk a lot. He wrote the book, 12 Years a Slave, that the movie is based upon. But there's still a lot about him that we will probably never know. You know, and, you know, it's hard to even fathom what he went through as a free man. Spent so much time already having a family. And, you know, Steve McQueen does such an amazing job of, you know, bringing us there and allowing us to feel what these characters felt, and really getting to hate Michael Fassbender's character. And it's truly deserving of the accolades it received, and justifiably could have won more. But again, that's nor here nor there. So again, 12 Years a Slave, I highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. I highly recommend learning as much as you can about Solomon Northup and his story. 8.7, 12 Years a Slave. You know, that's, to me, it's up there as one of the best movies of the last 20 years. So yeah, 12 Years a Slave, 8.7. That's a review. I'll see you again at the movies.